Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful weekend, or whenever you're watching this, I hope you're just having a great day. So, today, we're gonna take a look at one of my favorite types of records. Yes, you know it already, you clicked on this link. It is picture discs, and I love them. I think that every record should be colored, or a picture disc, or something unique about it. Black, plain, vinyl, come on guys, let's try to amp it up a little bit. Let's make it fun. So I love unique things. So this is really cool. I'm gonna show you a few from my collection, and I wanna know down in the comments below if you have any of these that I have, or tell me about some of the picture discs that you have in your collection as well. You're not gonna wanna miss this. Isn't this awesome? There's still time to get yours. If you want this awesome Beatles Yellow Submarine record player, check out our video, our last video that we did on this. But also, at the end of that video, I'll tell you how you can get yours. And it's not going to be around for very long. They only made 1,500 of these, so there is still time. Anyway, that's not what we're here to discuss today. Today, we're here to discuss picture discs and why I love them, and hopefully you do as well. I'm going to show you a few from my collection. The thing about this, a lot of people say, oh, a picture disc, you should never play it. You should never play it. It's just for looking at, hang it on your shelf. And I know in the comments I'm going to get all kinds of opinions trying to educate me on, what I'm doing wrong or what I should be doing, and maybe a few affirmations in there as well. I personally play them. I don't play them a lot, especially in the case of this one where it's an antique. I'm not going to sit there and play this, but we did do a show on this where you can go back and hear, I think we played it in its totality, both sides, so you should be able to hear that. The essence of a picture disc is this. It's essentially two layers of clear material. It can be vinyl, it can be resin, it can be different materials with usually a paper picture in the middle. So the playing surface is clear, and underneath that clear surface you see an image. And I just think it's cool. I think it's awesome. I think that they should all be this way. Typically speaking, in theory, well, not in theory because it's true, but in practice too, a picture disc's groove is thinner, it's narrower, it's more shallow. There's the word. It's more shallow than a regular record groove. So the sound quality to a comparable non-picture disc record is technically not going to sound as good. Have I ever heard a difference? No. But that may be a judgment on my hearing or my whatever I do here more so than on the technology. So I'm going to show you just a few from my collection. I love them. I think that the idea of having artwork just kind of adds to the tactile experience of playing a record. Just beautiful. This is a 1950s children's picture disc. It's very fragile. This material is almost somewhat flexible. And like I said, we did play it and it sounded, pretty dang good. And I'm going to play some of these as well at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. But first, I just want to show you some different ones. So this is sort of an offshoot. These are technically picture discs, but they're cardboard picture discs. So these are the Alf ones, and from the 1980s. This is a Life serial one, and it's the same basic premise. It's a clear playing surface. In the case of these, these are really thin playing surface. So we're talking. Essentially think of it like a flexi disc over the top of a piece of cardboard, and there's nothing fancy about it's literally just almost a heavyweight paper, but it's the same basic premise. You have an image and there's sound that comes off that. Seeing this spin around still mesmerizes me. These Alf ones too, you can see they kind of curl over time as the plastic material or whatever the playing surface itself is shrinks. It sort of, pulls that record in like that. Not that you can't, for the purpose, it's not going to impact sound to the point where it sounds incredibly different than when they were new. It just is what it is. So those are some. It's kind of an offshoot. It's kind of a stretch because, these are kind of an offshoot from picture disc, but I think they fall within that category. They are really, really cool. Now let me show you my first one. Now this, I shouldn't say my first one, because I went through two record phases. I went through the original one when I was a kid because that's just the sound, that's the product that we had to listen to music on. And back then I had a picture disc. In fact, I'm going to insert a picture of it right now. And at the time, I thought it was cool, but I wasn't into records like I am now. Now, as that faded away and I moved on to tapes and CDs and streaming and then kind of back into the physical media now, it's taken on a new meaning for me. And when I started collecting records again, I really wanted to find picture discs because I think they're awesome and they're beautiful. So this was the first one I bought recently, if that makes any sense. This is Disney's Cinderella soundtrack. It's a 12-inch vinyl record. I love how, the simple things, entertain me. I'm easily entertained. But I love how the rim is black. I don't know why I like that. Now, that can be a good thing or a bad thing. What do I mean by that? Well, stay tuned because I've got another record that when you see a black rim, it's not a good thing. But for this, I think all of these Disney ones are great. They're expensive. They're usually like $27, which is why I don't have a bunch of them. But at the same time, picking one up, I think at least one is definitely worth it. I like this side even better, I think, because it's got the track listing and some more artwork on there. This was a formative time in my life when I had this movie. I remember my mom brought it home on a VHS tape, which I still have, keep it in the office. And I don't know what it is, but I just have very positive memories of this Cinderella movie. I used to remember at the beginning when these guys are running around. I think Gus is picking up the stack of, and as a kid I thought they were cheese wedges, which I was like, okay, mice like cheese, but why were they sprinkling cheese around for the other animals? I think it might have been corn. I'm not 100% sure, but I just remember him stacking them up under his chin, all that good stuff. Fun times. Anyway, so yeah, this is a beautiful picture disc, and again, I love the design. I think it's gorgeous. The sound quality is fine. I don't sit there and listen to this and be like, oh, that sounds terrible. I could totally tell it's a picture disc. If I could flip a toggle switch between a regular version and this version, perhaps I could on the higher end turntables and monitors. But, for all intents and purposes, it sounds as good as any to me. Okay. Moving right along, we're going to go a little vintage now. This is a picture disc that my wife had when she was a kid. This is Rainbow Bright from the 1980s. I think it's really, really cool. And it's it's the same idea. It's a picture, with a clear playing surface on top. This still sounds great. I think it looks fantastic, and I think that the colors and whatnot. This is something that's unique. This is something that's special to me. Every record should be fun like this. Not that they're all not fun, but they're extra fun when they have all these colorful graphics. Just captures the imagination. It helps, tell part of the story of what's on it or the artist. And there's a lot of picture discs to be had. Now, if you are not like me and you wouldn't pick up a Rainbow Bright record, actually I bought this on eBay, I think. If you wouldn't be seen dead with one of these, there's all kinds of nasty, other types of picture discs out there. So I'll leave you to it if that's your thing. Another one here, 12-inch. No political assumption should be made by this. It just happens to be a cool record to me. And that is this Barack Obama record. They also made some other editions with other presidents. I'm trying to think. They have a George Bush one? I'm not sure. And I would have picked that up just as much as I would have picked up this. But this is a Barack Obama picture disc. Again, it's got that black rim. Why do I keep bringing that up? Well, stay tuned because it's it's indicative of a certain type of picture disc that you may want to keep your eye out for. But again, super, super cool. And what you get here is not only does the image, I think what's cool about these is that not only does the image exist under the playing surface, but also to the label. And maybe I should say it the other way around. Maybe instead of there being artwork just on the label, it extends to the rim. So there's obviously more real estate for playing with, imagery and designing it and making it look cool. On the back here, you've got a picture of Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, and it just looks great. It looks sharp. It sounds good. This has speeches and some military, not military marches, but, this kind of music you hear when the president walking into the room kind of stuff. And really, really cool. So we got one more to show you, and then we're going to listen to some. This is the oldest one that I have. This is from the 1940s. This is my Vogue picture disc. There was a whole set of these, and it's a 78 RPM disc. It's made out of resin, so it's a resin material with an image in between the sandwich layers. These are all laminate records, And, you know, so they're made in a different way. It's not just pressed like a normal record. There's a different process. In fact, if you YouTube search, you know, how picture discs are made, you can learn about it. It's really cool stuff. It's not too terribly different than the way a regular record is made, but it's somewhat different. So I love this. This is probably the most common of the Vogue picture discs, but I still like it anyway because it's, you know, my favorite version. The art is very evocative of the music that you, I mean, it's like the 40s. You want to step right in there and walk down that street. Look at that, like riverboat at the end there. Just wonderful, just wonderful. Clyde McCoy and his orchestra. Just a fantastic one. Now, they made a whole series of these with, you know, different artwork, but the Sugar Blues is definitely the most popular. And it sounds good. It sounds as good as any 78. And it's beautiful. I mean, just vibrant. Look at this. I mean, think how old this is. Love it. Just beautiful. Sugar Blues. And again, you can pick up Vogue records for, oh gosh, you can probably pick one up for 25, 30 bucks. It's about the same price as a modern picture disc, actually. I got the Barack Obama one on clearance. They were, Second and Charles they had them for a long time, a bunch of them, and then they must not have been selling, so they put them on clearance, and I grabbed one then because I had my eye on them. I thought they were cool. But yeah, Disney ones are usually $26, $27. And typically, I didn't show any of the packaging, but, well, I can do that. Let me show you one. So here's the packaging for the Rainbow Bright disc. You'll see it's a big open hole in the front. It's not like a typical record sleeve. Obviously, the point is to show off the record, and then they have the flip side because it was only one opening on the one side. So a picture of what the flip side looks like. And a lot of times picture discs will just come in like a vinyl plastic sleeve, which is kind of interesting. So my point about the rim, we talked about the black rim like on this record, and you'll notice that this one does not have it. It has a clear rim. This is an original Vogue picture disc, and the originals have a clear rim. Now they made reproductions, which is fine. I personally, some people would like, they don't want to go anywhere near a reproduction, and I have all kinds of facsimile stuff. I like it. I think it's cool. I collected historic money and coins and stuff, and I have, just to have, you know, even a facsimile of what some of these rare pieces look like, to me it's cool. So it wouldn't turn me off the way it would some people, the fact that it's a facsimile, you know. But you know, I know it would for some. Anyway, the facsimile or the reproduction ones have a black rim. They're probably made of plastic or vinyl instead of this resin material, which is remarkably clear considering its age, although you'll see through the edge there it's yellowing a little bit, but not too bad at all. Okay, let's go ahead and play a couple. I did promise that we would do that. We're going to use the record player right in front of us. So I'm going to start with this picture disc, and we'll give it a little bit of a listen. And I think this stuff is awesome, you guys. Just totally fun. Okay, we are on. I'm just going to drop the needle randomly. Now, surprisingly, yes, some of you may say, that's not true. But it is true that, you know, I still run into copyright issues. Not issues. When I say a copyright issue, I'm talking about a content ID match, which is not a negative thing. It doesn't affect your account standing at all. It just means that the copyright holder is rightfully going to monetize your video and take all the money from it. And sometimes they'll divvy it up. If you play multiple songs, you know, they'll be like, thank you very much for hosting this content. We'll take all the money. And, you know, that means that the ads you watch don't support the channel and we can't invest in further things. So I try to use the free 2 to 3 seconds that I can get away with in most cases without it being content ID match. I never had a real copyright strike. Never had one. You get 3 of them. You get 3 strikes and you're out kind of policy, and I've never had one. I want to keep it that way too. I think that's more for people that are just gratuitously, you know, putting music on YouTube for the purpose of putting music on YouTube. Sounds good. Sounds beautiful. I keep this on this Vogue record. I keep on display on the Vita Nola, just sitting there. Looks beautiful. Okay, let's listen to a little Cinderella. Guess I'm a grown man with Cinderella and Rainbow Bright records, and I'm unapologetic about it. Here we go. This has a lot of the orchestration music on it, which I think is really cool. I love that stuff. And for those of you that are crying foul that I'm playing picture discs on a Crosley, I'm just shaking my head. This has an Audio-Technica cartridge, moving magnetic. It's tracking at 2 grams, 2 to 2.5 grams. No damage whatsoever. And even if it was, it's my record, so no problem, right? Okay, let's see here. But no, this isn't going to damage anything. Works great. I wish it had a queuing lever, though. I do wish it had that. Like this fanfare music.
Some who question the scale of our ambitions, who suggest that our system cannot tolerate too many big plans. Their memories are short, for they have forgotten what this country has already done.
Such a unique idea. I love it. I love spoken word records in and of themselves. Okay, let's see here. Let's do one more. I'm going to play some of this Alf record. I think this is 33. Now this is I need my record weight. Actually, you shouldn't put a record weight on a belt-driven record player like this, but all right, we'll see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work.
Live shooting star. Say hi to a real live shooting star.
Okay, this needs to be played on a record. I can flatten it out a little bit. But anyway, there you go, guys. Picture discs. I think they're awesome, and I hope you do too, but that's going to do it for now. Okay, guys, and that's going to do it for today. I want to say thank you so much for watching. It's always a pleasure spending time with you. It's my favorite thing to do during the entire week is to hang out with you, just do a little show and tell. I love my show and tell. And it's just really great, hearing from you guys in the comments and sharing some stuff and learning some stuff. Just a great time to be had all the way around. Now, listen, if you want to be the coolest kid on the block, check out our merch shelf down below this video. There's actually a shelf you can scroll through and check out all kinds of cool Record-ology merch that you can purchase. There's also a link in the description below. If you want to send us records or anything to review on the show, it's a guaranteed that it will get on the show. We'll give you a shout out if you want it. P.O. Box is in the description below as well. Plus, you can always buy me a coffee. But mostly, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, you guys. God bless. Take care. And we will see you next time.